Well, thank you for tuning in to Gamer Chat for the week. We're actually recording this on Christmas, so we are doing things for you during the holiday. So, it's been a while since we've been back. We over the past couple weeks, actually, it's been a little bit longer than that, but we did a collaboration with the D20 girls. If you're not familiar with them, we actually have our first special guest on Gamer Chat. Fox from the D20 Girls, Mistress of All Evil, is here to join us today. She's going to explain a little bit about what they do, and I'll be talking about Skyrim. Also joining me today is Skurs Killmeister and Soundman, and Fox. Can you tell us a little bit about what the D20 Girls do?
Hi, I'm Fox from the D20 Girls, and I am the Colorado manager and a partner in the company. And practically, pretty much what the D20 Girls is a company that combines social networking, talent management, and event services. All of the girls that are involved in the company are geek and gamer girls, and they're very interested in being part of the gaming industry, as well as geek in general. We have a lot of involvement in anime conventions, especially in Colorado. Along with that, we are really interested in helping all of these girls grow as in their special categories such as their cosplaying, so on and so forth. I am a PC gamer, as well as I play on the Xbox sometimes, and I'm really excited to be here and talk about Skyrim.
All right, we definitely thank you for being here. This is a first for us, actually having a guest speaker, so it's a lot of fun to have you here. Um, yeah, we're gonna get talking straight into Skyrim. Huge game that came out. We really haven't been able to talk about it. Everyone's been busy with holiday things, work in general, but now we're back to talk to everyone about Skyrim. We're gonna do the PC one first, since our special guest is a PC gamer. Soundman, you have as well. Um, Fox, go ahead. Tell us some of the things that you like about this versus Oblivion.
Well, I honestly didn't play Oblivion much. I did play Morrowind. I do really like some of the changes they made as far as questing goes. Obviously, the graphics are better, seeing as it's a newer game. It's the first Elder Scrolls game that I've been really involved in and really enjoyed, past just playing through it once. Um, I also, I mean, I think that the gameplay is unique to this game compared to all these other Elder Scroll games. Other than that, I have a blast with some of the silly little things. Like I love the horses. I love stealing them, and I actually like the weapon combat a lot better than the other games.
I'd have to agree with that as well. I was not a fan of the weapon combat the first game. In fact, it sort of aggravated me because it happened time and time again. Because generally, when I progress through this style of game, I'm not the one to go play evil, and I also have a tendency to play like Rambo and attack everything in the room. And occasionally, I would hit a friendly that was helping me out, and that would get me in trouble a lot. I'd get hacked at, slashed at. I'd be put under arrest or something in that regard.
Yeah, I'd have to say I still actually have that problem every once in a while, but it's definitely a lot easier to avoid your comrades this time.
I've also found that we tend not to, or the biggest problem that I had with Oblivion is one, the main story, you can beat it at level 1 or level 2. And the way Oblivion leveled is you only got to fight certain types of enemies depending on whatever level you were at the time. So I played through facing very, very, very easy enemies, and it sort of ruined the experience for me. The other issue I had is you'd walk into these towns with these massive cathedrals, and there were literally like 3 people in the entire town. So the game felt very empty to me. And when Oblivion came out, it looked pretty for its time, but once you got past that ooh and that ah stage, yeah, it lost its appeal really quick. I maybe put 10 hours into the game before I was done. I've put at least 30 hours into Skyrim, and it will continue to collect more hours just because I think it's a better overall game.
I feel like the leveling system is actually really unique to Skyrim. I've never really seen a game that doesn't have a grind aspect to it. It's really hard in Skyrim to just, kill X amount of wolves to get to the next level. It's really, you have to work through all of your skills that you want to develop and work through. I mean, you don't necessarily have to go through the storyline, but completing quests doesn't always give you that level up.
That's actually interesting that you mentioned that because I had pretty similar experience with the leveling. They changed it quite a bit from the first one, from your traditional RPG where you given X amount of stats for strength and wisdom and perseverance or persuade or whatever stat that you want to do. You get more stats, or you level up more in this game from actually utilizing skills more than it is just from slaying. Congratulations, you slayed 45 wolves. You level up. I mean, I'm not even sure, to be honest, if you actually can get leveled up from completing a quest more so than just utilizing your skills. For example, like making armor. For every X amount of armors you make, you'll actually level up within that specifics.
Yeah, now being on the PC, for you guys, how is the interface? I know, Dragon Age 2 was more geared towards, console users, and, everyone threw a fit about that. How is the user interface and everything towards a PC gamer? Because on the 360, it's actually quite easy to get through the menus and everything, but how is it on the PC?
It's pretty heavily geared, in my opinion, towards the console system. I mean, I got around it pretty easily, and I applied a few mods that I picked up from Skyrim Nexus, and if for any of you who have it on the PC version, Skyrim Nexus is the place to go get modifications for your game. But it works okay, but you can easily tell that it's geared towards the console user base, and Bethesda has mentioned that it's sort of primarily geared towards.
Yeah, for the PC, I mean, there's some things that are just okay, and then there are some things that I have some real problems with. I mean, now there is the quick favorited weapons and stuff, but I still find it really awkward to be switching between things. If you ever are in combat and you want to switch between, say, healing and your primary weapon, it seems to be kind of an awkward process as you have to hit, I believe you have to hit Q for the quick menu, and you have to select which one you want, and then if you want to use a power,
Yeah, I had some of the similar issues with the menus. I mean, the favorites took a bit for me to figure out, and it wasn't easy to do per se. I mean, it's a minor annoyance, but it sort of goes in to show, I mean, which platform they're developing primarily for. I mean, I can already tell if I played this on the Xbox that I think it would handle well. I don't know, Rick, do you think it has a pretty good layout for you?
Yeah, as far as the console, yes. I will agree that the quick thing, even on the console, is annoying because you end up having to hit up on the D-pad, have to cycle through everything. I mean, it can, even on an HD TV, the font's really tiny. But yeah, that and I don't know, some of the menu systems aren't bad, but I mean, sometimes it's a pain to get into it. You have to hit start to get into your quest log and everything else like that. You hit B to get into another set of menus for leveling and everything. Would have been nice if everything was constrained into one, but I don't know, I can see where it could have been easier to do what they did. Um, how does it look visually on the PC?
But once you add in some of the mods, because for those of you who don't know, Skyrim is limited to 2 gigs of memory, and I believe it's also limited to a dual core processor unless you unlock it. So once you unlock those and you add in the base textures, I believe are either 256 by 256 or 512 by 512. Once you unlock those and punch them up to like 2048 by 2048. It looks fantastic. Like there's so many mods and edits you can do to the game to make it look better and better. It's got a gray hue to it, which I'm not a fan of, but overall, I mean, that's a minor complaint, personal complaint. I think it looks fantastic. Some of the, like when you go up in the mountains and you see the snow flying off the tips of rocks, it's pretty stunning.
I personally haven't played with modding my Skyrim, but I have to agree that there's some things I don't like about the graphic display, but there are some things that are really brilliant about it. The snow is one of the other things I was going to say. Other things that I'm impressed with is, I mean, the faces are still blocky, but the animals compared to the previous games, their movements and animations and the way that they sit in the game makes them look more real.
I've noticed they've also added into some of the kill animations. Oblivion's way of killing things or the way they died, I mean, it was pretty straightforward. When you get a kill hit, I mean, they just fell over and died. Whereas in Skyrim, I mean, you might stab them in the gut, or you might behead them, or you might do a number of finishing moves, which I think helped a lot with the overall gameplay, in my opinion.
Yeah, it seems like they took a few hints from Fallout. They did, if you're not in third person, I mean, it'll pop out to do a third person kill cam. You could do quick kills still in first person, but yeah, it seems like they took what they've learned from Fallout 3 and added it to this. Um, how it's not buggy on the 360. There are things here and there that are buggy. I've noticed. I've gotten a dragon caught in an area before. My horse got caught in a tower. Just goofy things like that. Is the PC one plagued by similar bugs? I mean, it's a Bethesda game. We're kind of, used to them having bugs in their games, even though they're, completely wonderful. But how's the PC in terms of bugs?
Yeah, I've had a few bugs that have really bothered me, none that have really affected my gameplay. I did have one where I had the traditional spinning dragon of death, and then also I've had the problem where if I engage a dragon, all of a sudden it'll just like fly away and start attacking a random village nearby. And there was this epic war between the mammoth and the dragon was so buggy jumping around that it ended up on the ground, and the mammoth killed it. And it was like just graphically is.
I I haven't seen that particular issue, but I have seen where I had a dragon that followed me around after I killed it. So it didn't matter where I went. This giant dragon followed me around the city and was like bumping people out of the way as I walked through the town. And amusing as it was, it was pretty distracting. But thankfully, the amusement of me bawling at the fact that this giant bag of bones was following me around offset my annoyance.
Also, I've noticed the traditional Bethesda glitch where there's something that gets caught in a door and is like having convulsions after it's dead. But that's not something that really bothers me. I kind of think it's funny.
Yeah, as soon as the first time I popped the game in, once you get done with um, the little prologue up in the one town, you into the next one. I had a woman talking to her son where she was halfway through a wall. I mean, it's pretty jarring to start a game, maybe hour into a game, and you see a major bug. But I don't. Is it Bethesda just, is it the fact that the game's so big they don't have time for, QA testing, or is it maybe they just leave them because, they're fun, like, Brad's pet?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a new engine they built from the ground up, but it seems to have taken some of the glitches that Fallout 3 had, like floating corpses. I don't know, when you see dead bodies, they'll be ran.
I also noticed in this in Skyrim that you still can't climb ladders. It appears that Bethesda didn't fix their can't climb ladders bug out of their code. If I remember correctly, when they tried to add climbing ladders into the game, every NPC would attempt to climb the ladder.
Yeah, that was the problem with the Gamebryo engine they were using because they tried doing it in Oblivion, and everyone in the town would run for a ladder, and that's all they would do. uh, the Fallout 3, you didn't see any ladders in that either. Fallout New Vegas was buggier than both of them, so that. But now if um, Scrooge and I are going to talk about the 360 version a bit. I mean, it's still fantastic. It looks better than Oblivion did on the 360. I think it controls better. Um, I don't know if you guys noticed it on the PC, but the problem I had with Oblivion and the reason I stopped playing it was I ran out of torches, went to go find torches. I scoured almost the entire game, could not find another torch. I couldn't learn the spell to light up any cave, so I was basically trying to feel my way around the rest of the game, and that kind of aggravated me, so I left it. But Skyrim just it feels better, and I know you guys mentioned it. It just I don't know every aspect other than some of the bugginess they really worked on.
Oh, I agree. It works a lot better. The cities are more populated. Buildings actually have more furniture in them. Uh, they don't. It's not boring. Oblivion, I found like Brad, I lost interest after about 10 hours. I found a couple dungeons. They were okay, and then all of a sudden it just got really boring. I don't know. Maybe just the lack of population did it in for me. But Skyrim definitely fixed that and keeps it interesting and makes you travel in directions you haven't gone yet with its quests. And the level building is awesome as well.
Yeah, Oblivion, much like Mass Effect, had a lot of repeating dungeons, and that bored me pretty quick. Being that I played on the PC version, I didn't have to worry about the lighting aspect. I could just flip up my contrast, and all was good. But I can definitely see where that would get annoying. Um, yeah, I got bored with the dungeons pretty quickly, meaning basically that they were all the same. So
Yeah, if they're should have played Dragon Age 2. Every other dungeon was the same, but yeah, I do agree with Scrotus about it's the side quests aren't boring. Most of them are actually more. Some of them are more interesting than the actual main quest, and they make you explore the map. And the map is beautiful. It's interesting to explore. I went to the top of a mountain and looked across, and I really couldn't see anything because the snow was blowing, and it just I don't. It feels so much more epic than Oblivion. Like Oblivion, whenever you first got out of the sewer, looked out, saw the countryside. I mean, that was a real awe. But the rest of the time, it was big towns. No one was there. Nothing really happened between towns. In this, you're always, you have time to trot about on your horse or whatever between town. But I mean, you'll still find things here and there. The towns feel they're still kind of dead. The populations in them aren't as large as I would like them to be, but they don't feel as empty as Oblivion's.
Yeah, they definitely picked it up on there, but there is a lot of minor little glitchy bugs. It just seems like they could have caught it with a little QA, but nothing that is a would stop me from playing the game. Or just silly glitches that don't take away from gameplay, but uh, yeah, they may be slightly distracting at most.
I was glad they redid the crafting and enchanting system. I've never been one to care about crafting or enchanting. I think it's boring. I don't play mages or anything like that, so that's usually been not even something that I bother to waste my time on. But I love working with making my own armors, and it's easy to do. It's quick, it's fast, and you can level up. If you want to level up, there's one quick way to do it. Is just build yourself a ton of armor, and you can level up pretty quick. And there's some pretty cool armors you can make too, and then you can take them and enchant them, and wear them around and test them out and see how they function. Um, I think it has worked pretty well.
Yeah, they finally gave me what I've been wanting to do. Just wish I could buy a blacksmithing shop and kind of run it and have. I would love. I don't know, ever since Fable 2 and their job system, for some weird reason, all I wanted in a game is buy a blacksmithing shop and make stuff and sell it to NPCs. I don't know if that's. I've always talked about my dream MMO as to having, a full-on economy and everything. Everyone has to work together. I'm sorry, shopsmithing. I love. I mean, I went on my way a few times in Skyrim just so I can go find different mines, mine for the ingots, go back, smith armor, sell it. I mean, I wish I could actually sell it to somebody instead of getting the money for myself, but I don't know. That's just me. I really like that aspect. Scrotus, how do you feel about we mentioned it with the PC. How do you like the controls on the 360?
Oh, the controls are really good. They're pretty straightforward with the
Okay. I like the controls on the 360. I don't have a problem with them. I think they're better than Oblivion's. There's a little bit of tweaking that did. I still, as we mentioned earlier in the show, I do not like the quick time or the inventory system. It's just it's easy to do. You just have to hit up on the D-pad, hit left or right trigger to equip things. I don't know. It kind of breaks the combat a little bit. Like if I was playing Dragon Age, I wouldn't mind pausing the combat or anything like that, but I don't know. In this, I would have liked to have just been able to hit Y or something, switch out for another weapon or a spell or something, and go at it that way. Maybe that's just because it's in a first-person view, and that's my train of mind thinking of like that. But another thing, we're gonna let Joe finish about the controls.
Yeah, the controls. Like I said, they should have limited the quick menu and maybe only let you have 10 items in there because I have a tendency to put way too much in there, which defeats the purpose of a quick menu. And also, but other than that, the combat system works, and also the trying to navigate the other menus like your options and abilities and whatnot can be overwhelming, but luckily it isn't real time.
I found the separate like your inventory. I guess touching on this real quick, the inventory management sort of bothered me in this game. I would have liked to have been able to separate my armors a little better than it lets me do it. I mean, it's got a weapons and armor and apparel feature in it, but I also noticed something going back to bugs on the PC version. Sometimes when you select an inventory like menu, like if I clicked armor, it would actually close me back out to the main menu again, and I'd have to do it all over again. I don't know if that bug is prevalent in the console version, but I saw it a good number of times to where I'd have to relaunch the menu and check my inventory several times.
No, on the 360, that problem really didn't pop up. One thing though I did notice pop up with the map is that it still gives you a cursor icon, I'm guessing it would on the PC version. It looks like a mouse pointer. It keeps, at least for me, it disappears. If I go too far to the edge of something, it disappears, and I have to go out of the map, back into the map, just to find the pointer again, so I can or click somewhere to fast travel.
That problem I haven't seen yet. I seem to that must be unique to you. I've had other random issues, but definitely not that.
One other thing I've noticed, for those of you who do multi-monitor gaming, I run an Eyefinity setup off of a 5970, so essentially a Crossfire setup. For those of you who use dual GPU cards, there is no native setting for Eyefinity. You actually have to hack the game. So for those of you who have wanted to know if Skyrim supports Eyefinity or multi-monitor setups, it can, but you have to download a couple of mods to get it to work, and those you're allowed to get from like Widescreen Gaming or from Skyrim Nexus.
And for the antiquated 360, we don't have that. But I want to get your everyone's final thoughts on the game. I mean, it's a fantastic game. We all have bugs. Everybody's had bugs. They released a patch already, but I feel like this game, with all the subsequential DLC that we're going to be getting, I have a feeling they're going to do a title update for everyone. Unfortunately, like Fallout 3, at least it's not as bad as New Vegas, to where I play an hour of it and I want to quit. But um, we'll start with Fox. Closing comments on Skyrim.
I would have to say that I find Skyrim to be one of the strongest games of 2011. I'm not really sure if it would be the strongest for me, but it certainly beat out games that I was expecting to be a lot better. I've had a lot more fun with it than I expected to, seeing as I wasn't the biggest fan of the previous Elder Scroll games. I do think it's really strong in its genre, and it's improved a lot, and I'm really impressed with what Bethesda did.
I'd have to go with the same there. I was not a fan of the previous one, but I was pleasantly surprised with this one. The typical score going around for this game has been about a 95%, and I'd have to go with that. With Bethesda games, I typically expect bugs, so, much as we rant on them, I mean, it's not like they're not unexpected. And, when you're talking a game in this size, we're talking 100+ hours of gameplay content. Some bugs are to be expected. I mean, there's only so much QA you can do to get those out. But I would expect to see a good number of patches to address those bugs. Coming in the upcoming month.
Yeah, I agree. With a game this huge, it's hard not to have bugs, and for all the griping we. It is a fantastic game. I originally was not going to, but I ended up purchasing it on a whim, and I got a good deal, of course. But I did not regret the purchase at all. But I don't know. It's kind of hard to. It's a toss-up between and Skyrim as into the strongest game of the year. It is a fantastic game. I just wish I had more time to play it.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'm finding very hard. Well, now that the holiday season's been and gone, hopefully I'll have more time to play into it. But yeah, it is one of those games where you just can't really put an hour or two. You kind of have to put more into it per sitting. At least I find that way. Um, but yeah, I don't regret. I mean, I bought it day one. Don't regret my purchase at all. Love it a lot more than Oblivion. It feels a lot more epic, a lot more clean. Um, just so many improvements on just every aspect that was faulty in Oblivion. Um, but yeah, and I have to agree with Scrotus that it is very close to Batman. A lot of publications are giving it Game of the Year, but as much as I love Skyrim, Batman still has my heart right now. So, but I would like to thank our guest Fox for being on the show today, and I'd like to thank the rest of you guys for being here.
Thank you much. See you next week.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, one thing. Yep, Merry Christmas from all of us at the Gamer Blog. We'll see you guys next week.